This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
All right, so I'm eager to get into this one this afternoon, so we're going to forego with the usual formalities. Hi, Rhapsody. Let's go.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rants of the vindicated. It's my podcast, and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live? It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we're going to keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
One's ready.
I feel like the end is
Staring at my watch, and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts, how many tries to take?
Damn.
Never write about me like him. Never make me 6-1. You just make me angry. Never make me no underdog.
Never.
Never talk about who's gonna stop me.
Can't nobody stop me.
Not a heavyweight world fast enough to stop me.
Yeah, I survived a lot of savage shit. I've been vibing like
One and only time I'm gonna cut off Royce the 5'9". Royce the 5'9" does not get cut off around here. We got shit to do today. I wanted to play that. I thought Muhammad Ali might be a good start to the show. Oh, as always, welcome back to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. A very special episode. I think we're getting used to the background noise because I now record in the kitchen in the sober home that I live in with 9 other dudes who make a lot of noise and don't give a fuck. So yeah, the noise is here as usual. Another thing that's starting to become a usual occurrence is I have the homies here with me. I have AJ and Ross. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
And then another recurring friend of the show. I think, is this your third or fourth visit here to the White Pants Society, Atarii?
I think this is the third.
Third? All right. So, yeah, we got Atarii, we got AJ, we got Ross, we got myself, J. Flan. This is the White Pants Society podcast, and we're going to get into some real shit today. So anyway, so should we go right to that topic and then save the rest of the shit for later? Like, if we get to it, I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, is the man's name Atarii, like the console, like the old school?
With 2 eyes. Two
yes,
eyes,
sir.
though. Two
Okay.
eyes.
Yes, sir.
All right, just so I get it right, just in case.
But you do have to pronounce the second eyes. 2 eyes.
Atarii.
Atarii. Yeah.
Atarii. Does that work?
Atarii,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you are wearing a shirt today,
Atarii.
correct, sir?
Man, look. I am wearing the shirt,
All
yeah.
right. Much appreciated. We just that is the ground. That's a rule here. You got to have a shirt on to be on the show.
No shirt, no shoes, no
sir.
podcast.
There you go. Well, yeah, I'm not servicing anybody. Anyway, all right. So what we came here to discuss, what I want to discuss with these 3 gentlemen in particular, is my friend and everyone else's friend here, Colin Kaepernick, held a workout yesterday, and we know there's a lot that goes into the fact that this workout was even held. Then a lot got thrown on it yesterday with some of the extras. There are a lot of opinions floating everywhere. I actually had an episode queued up for this week that I'm going to push back so we can air this tomorrow, Monday, for the people. So let's talk about it. I think AJ wants to start. I
want Atarii to start.
You want Atarii to start?
Whenever he has things
All right.
about that.
He wants to know if I got a person on my side or not. Atarii, basically, is what.
Atarii, what do you think about him moving his thing at the last minute?
Let's talk about the whole thing. Let's talk about the whole thing first.
Okay.
Because can we agree that this was unusual from the start?
Of course.
The NFL does not hold workouts for anyone. If a team wants to work out a player, they can work that player out. They can interview him, whatever, call him to the facility anytime they want to, at all.
Can we agree that the NFL
Exactly.
is big time about image, and that this is good? This would have been probably good for their image.
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I don't think this. I don't think this had anything to do with being good for their image. But we'll get into that.
Okay.
I think the NFL was trying to save a little bit of face, so yeah, I think this was about the image. If you check out some interviews with, former pro players, they're like, there is no way that workouts are held on Saturday. All of them said this. They said if there's any workouts to be held, there's always on Tuesday, because Saturdays are like the day before the game. People are traveling, and then they send those secondary scouts to college games and stuff like that. So this is pretty much just something to just give to the public to say, oh, well, we're giving him a chance to get back.
That just came out.
This is just mean, it's just hot air, really.
So you think it was all bull?
I think it was all bullshit.
But
Just to say that they gave him a chance. And then like also they didn't have, normally if you're holding workouts, you're telling them when and where, you're giving them, more notice than a week. Also, if the teams want to work you out, the teams will contact you. The NFL doesn't contact the teams. And then they wanted to set him up with some random receivers that he has no rapport with, things like that. I mean, it set him up for failure, but made it look like they were setting him up to give him a chance to get back into the league.
Made it look like it was a goodwill gesture. But I think there was a lot more behind this. I'm gonna save my opinion unless AJ wants me to just go right in right now.
Please.
No.
By all means.
All right. So regardless, before we get into the fact that Cap's camp moved it at the last minute. We can agree that Cap's camp moved it at the last minute. Can we agree on that?
We agree on that?
Yeah.
Can we agree on was it a good idea or not?
No, I'm not. Well, let me tell you why I think he had to do it.
Okay.
All right. So just like Atarii said, one, NFL doesn't hold workouts. Right. A team wants to work you out, they can work. All 32 teams in the NFL have had 3 years to call him for a workout anytime they wanted to. NFL never does this. Right. Two, what they're also not talking about is that Cap's camp wanted to sign a standard injury liability contract. We pretty much say, I tear my ACL out there, it's on me. It's not on NFL, has no liability if I go out there and I get hurt working out for the NFL. NFL said, no, we got a special injury liability form we want you to sign. And in their contract, it would have waived them of any wrongdoing in terms of employment opportunities. This was basically the NFL's get out of jail free card.
If he got injured?
No, just period. If he signed the waiver, it was going to say, I waive my right to claim any further grievance in terms of employment with the NFL.
I have no idea if that's true or not.
That is the report that's out there.
No, that's what it was.
I thought he already settled with the NFL and got a settlement.
But he could he could continue to sue. He got settled for that collusion case.
So you're saying they gave him $12 million and they really didn't get anything out of it? That's not hard to believe.
Well, one, they didn't give him $12 million. What I hear is that the settlement was somewhere between 1 and 10, and the full amount has never been disclosed. So let's not say 12, because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. All right, and so then we have this liability contract that they're trying to get him to sign. They don't want media there, right? So no media. They are going to take the video of the thing. They're going to send it out to the teams. He couldn't even have his camp there to videotape it. So they didn't want media. They didn't want anybody else having access to footage of this workout. So they were going to have complete control of the narrative. They were going to be able to hold the workout. They were going to be able to get him to sign a document saying that he could no longer pursue any grievance toward them about employment. They would have the rights to all of the footage and could control who got to see what, how it was edited, all of that. And he said, no, I want this to be a transparent process. If we're going to do this sham of a workout, let's do it so everybody can see. So that you can't say, I didn't look good or I performed poorly or whatever, and that you don't get this get out of jail, I can't never say y'all fuck me over again card. And so that's all he was asking for. And that's why I got moved at the last minute. So this was never about Cam getting a shot. This was about the NFL playing chess. And it was a brilliant move. What I would say is the NFL won. This was a brilliant move because no matter what happened, if he complained about anything, public opinion was going to turn on him. Oh, here you had your shot, and now you're complaining. Fuck you. And they knew that. This was a brilliant move by the NFL. They put him in the exact position they wanted to put him in, and now they get to spin the story however they want to spin it. And unfortunately, I don't think Cap is ever going to play again in the NFL, and I don't think the NFL is ever going to really admit the reason why. And that's what I think this is all about.
I have a more important question. I don't know if anybody else has thought about this. Atarii, perhaps you've thought about this, or maybe you can shed some light on this, or maybe I'm just thinking crazy here. Is Colin Kaepernick able to participate in this year's coming combine? Because he's been out of the league now for 3 years. Yeah. Does anybody know if he's eligible or not to participate in the combine? Well, no, other players have been able to participate in a combine after they've, So I'm just curious.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, has anybody thought of that? If he's able, because he's been out of the league for 3 years, so I would consider him. And if he's holding open workouts, it's as if he's back in the process of trying to get back in the league, just like all these other college athletes that are going to be eligible for the combine.
But every team has been free to bring him in for a workout for 3 years.
This is right, exactly. And
Right,
no
but
one has
they
exactly.
also were going to let some of the smoke clear. If it,
What smoke was? What are you trying to say? Was he a pain?
No, when he decided to take a knee to bring awareness to the social injustice that was occurring across the country, I think a lot of the teams were kind of apprehensive about bringing that in because, at the time it was controversial. However, he is eligible to work in the United States. He should be allowed to play ball. He served his time, and I put that in quotes because, But in my opinion, if he's holding a private workout, he should be in my opinion, if it's possible, he should be eligible for the 2020 NFL Combine.
That's about the draft. I don't think that's. He's a free agent.
The combine is for amateurs crossing over to professional.
Yeah.
So he's already professional. That's what the combine is for.
And
So
once you have an agent, you're professional, right?
Yeah.
Once you're paid, you're a professional.
Once you're paid, you're professional. So,
but he has not been paid for 3 years, though. I mean,
yeah, he was paid once.
But he's still a professional because he has contracts. He's been on professional teams.
Sure,
he's still a professional. He's an unrestricted free agent.
I mean, I was just thinking outside the box. I didn't know if there was any technicalities or any rules against him participating in something like that, or if there was a way for him to get in on that. So that was just my outside the box thinking. But yeah, I was looking over the teams that were present at the workout yesterday. So I think he should definitely be allowed to participate and play in the NFL again.
And can we talk about that? 'Cause I think that's another sign of how bullshit this whole thing was. Is that I think Friday the NFL was saying 11 teams had committed to be there. Right?
I heard 25. I heard reports
they
of 25.
said 25 showed up and he was a no-show. But on Friday, the number they gave was 11. The NFL said 11 teams had committed to be there. All of a sudden, on Saturday, when he moves it, we had 25 teams and he didn't show up. And I'm pretty sure if they thought 25 teams were going to be there, they would have said that Friday because that would have made this look better. But they didn't say that until it was clear he wasn't going to be there. And now all of a sudden, 25 teams were there. I have a hard time,
right.
And no media could be there, so nobody can confirm or deny this. This is just purely what the NFL says, and that's my grievance with this whole thing. They wanted to control the narrative, and they succeeded. They have complete control over how this gets spun because there was no transparency. They didn't allow anybody else in the process.
So it's a big, giant conspiracy.
We've been saying that for a long time.
So y'all know,
okay, go ahead.
real quick. I haven't said anything. I'm just looking up the numbers of a guy that y'all are saying is the greatest, just so deserving of a chance. Here's his record. 2011, he didn't play. 2012, he went 5-2.
Right.
2013, he went 12-4. 2014, he went 8-8. 2015, he went 2-6. 2016, he went 1-10. I mean, just because he. I don't think he's bad. I think he's better than a lot of NFL backups. I do.
Okay.
But I also think he's a pain in the ass to the people that own the teams. They don't want to see it. It's controversial. There's a lot of guys they can hire that will be a team player in the locker room, a team player on the field, and say the right thing and do the right thing. They may not be better than him. He's got an elite arm. I agree with you on that. I don't agree that he's still an elite quarterback. I don't think he was ever an elite quarterback. He was very good. But he fell. His last 3 years, he got worse and worse and worse.
Okay, so I want to interject, coming from a long lineage of football, not only as a participant, but it's been in our family.
I don't need to see it. You can
football.
You over there. Yeah.
Okay, bring it back over here. I want to take a look at it. I need to reference it since this is clearly Okay, so again, I want to remind everybody that isn't aware that football is a team sport.
Agree.
Colin Kaepernick is a member of a team. So his team in 2012 went 5-2, 12-4, 8-8, 2-6 in 2015. Again, that is not solely on him. He is a huge part. He's a huge part of that team because he is the quarterback.
You're exactly right. However,
it also comes to I'm not done.
Good or bad.
It also comes down to coaching.
The blame and the good.
Well, no, the coach.
But
Right?
you won't give him the good.
We talk
'Cause-
about Dak Prescott.
No,
we talk
but
about how
won't-
bad or how good he is.
You won't
So
give him
again,
the good because
what-
whenever
the
we bring
point-
up in this house that he took a team to the Super Bowl,
Right.
you ever say is the defense took him there.
He took a
point
team
that I
to the
was
Super
trying
Bowl.
to
He's
make-
responsible for that, but he's not responsible for a 1-10 season.
point-
You can't have it both ways.
He's not one. Where was the 1-10 season?
He's not responsible for a 1-10
the
season.
last season, 1-10.
He's not
2016.
Time out. I want to interject. 2016 at 1-10. He's not calling the plays.
He wasn't in 2014 either.
Again, it comes down to team. They went 8-8 in 2014.
Okay, you just said, both of y'all, he took a team to the Super Bowl. You put it all on him like he's the greatest
No,
of all
I
time.
didn't put it
That's
all
fine.
on it.
Yes, you
No,
did.
I did not.
You
No, I did
said
not.
he took him to the Super Bowl.
No, I did not.
He also took him to 1-10.
No, what I
you
said,
can't have it both ways.
because you just said that a quarterback gets all the praise and all the. And so what I
does.
brought up to you was that when we mentioned that he took a team to the Super Bowl, you say it was the defense. Now you want to give it to him.
I'm not saying
because
it
you
was
can
all
take it
him.
away
I'm
from
saying
him
that
on
he
a
did.
10
He
on a
did.
1-10.
He started good.
You
got
use
better,
that rule.
went worse.
You use that rule when it benefits you, and when it doesn't, you don't.
The defense wasn't great in 2016.
I also
agree.
want to point out that you didn't scroll far enough. His completion percentage, roughly around
59.
60. Yeah, it's 59.8 overall for his
I know
career.
all those stats,
So
by the
around 60% for his career. Each of those years, it's hovering around 60%.
It's good.
Which I want to point out is better than some of the active quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Better than a lot of backups.
Can I
Go ahead,
say something
Atari.
really quick?
Please.
So
It's heated here.
I never thought Colin Kaepernick was a great quarterback. I never thought he was a great quarterback talent. I agree with you. Like, look at his record, look at his stats. He should be a backup. The only thing that I didn't like about what happened to him was him taking a stand, and they had a problem with that. That's what this whole thing is about. They want him to shut up and play football. They don't want him to use their platform to make, a statement about whatever he feels, or any political statements. And I agree with that too. But I don't think that they should try to, just blow smoke up the public's ass with these fake workouts.
Exactly.
And everyone sees, like, the public is getting a lot smarter nowadays. So it's easier. I mean, everyone sees the bullshit for what it is. Like, they set up a workout on Saturday when normally they're on Tuesdays, the off day across the league. And this has been said by former players and who are analysts on, what is it, the Skip and Shannon show. Like, they have a bunch of people on there. This was just a move to just save face for them. Well, we gave this guy a shot. We don't think he's good enough. Like Jay said, they're controlling the narrative. That's what they did. NFL is powerful. They own a day of the week. You cannot fight that.
I agree. Let me ask something real quick.
I think they own 3
I don't
days
know
of the
why
week
they
now.
did it. I don't know what they were trying to achieve. But if Colin Kaepernick believes in himself, here's just how I look at it. I've been out of work for 3 years. Somebody in my field gives me a shot at and not a great contract, not a great opportunity. Who knows what's going to happen? But I believe in me, and I want to earn my job back. I'm going to take my shot.
But you also don't have a
for their
$120
terms.
million contract from 90.
Yeah, he gets that anyway. He has nothing to lose. If he really wants to play in the NFL, it would seem to me like if I really wanted to play, I would be playing in front of the most people that would watch me throw the ball. If I believe in me. If not, then I'm going to control the narrative, and I'm going to say, oh, they screwed me, and I don't agree with their terms, and I'm going to do something else.
Where your point's coming from?
I don't think he should have moved it. I think he should have got in front of all the scouts he could.
No, he wanted
I think
it to be
he did it.
transparent. That's
Right.
the only thing.
He did this to show the bullshit of the NFL. He was like, okay, I see through the bullshit before everyone else. I know how the NFL works. So, all right, I think he purposely waited until that day. It was a bad look.
Yeah.
It was a bad look for him to wait until that day, but I think he did it to prove a point. Like, look,
he's not going to take
giving
down
me
the
this,
NFL.
but look. No,
I don't think
you
he's trying
can't,
to
but he
take
just
down
wants
the
to bring
NFL.
light.
Yeah, he wants to expose a little bit.
That's impossible. You cannot take them down.
So Mike,
Because I still watch football.
my question is that why didn't representatives of Colin Kaepernick's and representatives from the NFL, including Roger Goodell, sit down at a conference table and hammer this contract out and say, listen, you're going to have media there on these terms, or we'll come to mutual amicable terms that both Colin and the NFL agreed on. Why wasn't that, in my opinion?
I think
that was attempted.
Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z. Jay, no one's talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a freaking genius. I think Jay-Z, people saying Jay-Z has something to do with this. I think Jay-Z set up this whole thing, but he's on the NFL side because Jay-Z is always the smartest person in the room, no matter who's in the room. I think he set this up and he said, look, all you got to do is make it look like you're giving him a chance to get back, and this will get you guys back in the good graces of all your fans. Bottom line.
I don't know.
No one knows. If you're not in the league, then you don't know how it works. But people who are in the league, which is, 1,800 people out of how many billions are in the United States? You know what I mean?
A lot of...
So it's easy.
Go ahead.
It's easy to convince a bunch of civilians that, we gave this guy a shot and he just blew it. But you can't. You're convincing billions that he blew a shot that you gave him. But the hundreds of thousands who know what's really going on is just like, yeah, that wasn't really a fair shot. You know what I mean?
I kind of see what you're saying. Go ahead, Ross.
So I was just going to say, if Kaepernick wanted to really wanted to go old school with this, and maybe I'll sound crazy again for saying something like this, all of these NFL representatives or all of their stadiums, they all have an address. He could have sent out, a typed up letter saying, "I'll be holding an open workout. Please, bring your cameras if you want to. I'll be at this address on this date at this time, and whoever wants to show up can show up." And he could have done this without, the NFL's knowledge, and then gotten picked up after that. I mean, do it old school. If you're, send letters.
Atari, let me ask you this.
He's been doing it. He's been doing that.
Right,
he's been posting YouTube videos and all of that.
So let me ask. So I just feel like it was not well organized and carried out on the NFL side. And I feel like Kaepernick just made a situation that was not well planned worse. If he had an idea what he wanted to do, he probably should have said, "Yeah, I want to do that, but I want to break the date up. Give me a little time to prepare. Let me do this, that, and the other." That way, he could have been prepared. He could have come out looking better.
It's not about preparation. All right, so let me ask you this, AJ.
He sold the NFL the same bullshit they sold him.
Right. Let me ask you this, AJ.
So they're both full of shit.
Hold on. So let me ask you this, AJ. Though. Let me ask you this: if this is all above board, right? This is all above board. This is no games being played. This is a fair shot. Why don't you want the media there?
I'm not saying it.
No, I'm just asking that question. That's the only question I'm asking. I'm not just why don't you want the media?
Because he tends to bring a circus.
Because he tends to bring a circus?
Yeah. He tends to want to perform for
my
the
question
for
is,
cameras.
with this no media thing, is that what are they going to do? Take your phone at the entry gate, like when you come into or
they wouldn't let his camp videotape the workout. The NFL was going to control this narrative. This is going to be a workout that none of us would ever see. Or we would only see the footage they allowed us to see, and then they could say whatever they want to say happened.
But see, that's where you kind of lose me, because you're telling me, say he originally holds the workout in the spot that he's supposed to, and 25 plus teams are there.
Yeah.
You're telling me that no one's intelligent enough to sneak some sort of camera phone in and get that workout?
Well, now we're dependent on somebody to sneak a camera in. The thing is that if you're doing something that's above board, then you don't care who sees. When you start being when you start really scrutinizing who has access to see what you're doing, that's a sign that you're doing something that ain't right. It ain't 100% above board.
Atari, and this is something that Jared and I talked about too. So I agree with the reason he was doing it. I just felt like once he started seeing a significant amount of pushback from the people that employed him, and the fans, and because some people were okay with it and a lot of people weren't. It goes both ways. But a significant amount of people dropped advertising.
I want you to know that, right?
I think he's on my side.
You're softening up.
So I feel like it's not what he did, it's how he did it. And I get the fact that he wanted to bring attention to it, and I think he did. But in the same time, he kind of showed that he's not. I mean, I feel like if you're an employee, unless you're in it for yourself, unless you own your own business, if you're an employee, you're subjected to what your boss wants. Whether he wants you to wear white shirts only at work, whether he wants you to not kneel, whether he wants you to take your glasses off and wear contacts. If you want to get your paycheck, then you need to do what he asks you to do. Bottom line, right?
But that's bullshit, because Bennett still has a job. Josh Gordon still plays in the NFL. Ben Roethlisberger still has a job. Kareem Hunt is not out of the NFL. And you can't even say Kareem Hunt's like an elite talent, because he had one or two.
He had one blow up season,
and then we don't know
exactly.
But they're still willing to bet on these guys regardless of
Michael
what.
Bennett is still a very good defensive player. He's bounced around, and guess
what? He still gets a paycheck.
He got a paycheck
because
he agreed not to kneel.
They're not trying to keep.
He got
Colin has said he wouldn't kneel.
He would
Colin's
not,
already said
he would
it.
not have gotten signed by the Cowboys.
Colin's
he had not
already
agreed.
said. Colin has already said it. And let's backtrack.
They probably don't even believe it.
Let's backtrack a little bit, though. When he originally started this, right, he sat for the anthem, right? He sat for the anthem.
You're saying all this.
Hold on.
I've never read this.
You can go. This is, people, as a disclaimer, this is the opinion of Jared Flanagan and Jared Flanagan only. I'm not stating this as fact. I'm stating this as what I understand to have happened. And if you have happened to read the same articles than I did, then maybe you agree with me. The history of the situation as I know it,
As you understand
AJ,
it.
as I understand it,
Okay.
AJ, is that when he originally started this, he sat. And that drew a lot of ire. And people got very upset at him sitting for the anthem. So he went out. He sought out because they were saying it was about the troops, and this was disrespectful to the troops, and this was disrespectful to the military. So he said, "Okay, I want to make this stance. I see this as my opportunity to make this stance, but I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be intentionally disrespectful. So let me go find a veteran, and let me go talk to a veteran and ask them how they think I should go about this." And he got the recommendation to kneel from a veteran. He said that was still a sign of respect, kneeling in front of something. So
that's reverence. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he didn't just go out and say, "I want to be an asshole and irritate everybody to make a point." He started out trying to make a point, realized, some people found offense to it, so he found a member of that group, asked them for what their input on what he could do differently to still take his stance but not be so offensive. They suggested to him kneeling, which is a sign of respect. He knelt, and he's hated forever. Forever. He can't ever come back to, when you think of the players who have done egregious things and been forgiven and allowed to play again, you're telling me that kneeling when he was trying to show respect and make his point at the same time is an unforgivable offense.
No, time out.
You got crackheads and woman beaters in the Hall of Fame.
I know you do.
Time out. So
and all he did was sit kneel. You know what I mean?
At the time, if I'm not mistaken, and this is just what I was taking, at the time of the whole kneeling and everything, he wasn't doing that at that time to show respect to fallen troops or wounded warriors or anything like that.
No, it's never about the troops.
Right. If he had just said that, or if he had said, "I'm kneeling,"
I don't think I heard that.
The first time he did it, they asked him what it was about, and he told the
that's
world
exactly what he
exactly
said.
what he was doing.
As I remember it, and again, this is just how I remember it. Ross the Boss 50 plug. I thought at the time it was around that whole Black Lives Matter.
Same arts. It's the same issue.
Right. So I thought he was trying to bring awareness to social injustice.
Right.
Due to the given or at the time to the the unfair treatment of African American males or
it wasn't just unfair. It wasn't just unfair. Black people were being shot by the law enforcement agents who were supposed to protect us.
Yeah, murdered in the street.
That's scary.
People were getting away with it.
That's scary as hell. That's scary as hell because as a black man, I feel like, damn, that could have been me.
Right.
Pulled over, you know what I'm saying? I'm reaching for my license. Did you see the Facebook video where the guy was in the passenger seat and got shot in front of his girlfriend and his son or his daughter, whoever? That's scary as hell. So yeah, I would gladly kneel. Yes. In front of his son. I need you. Kneel.
And I'm not saying, I think he used the platform brilliantly to bring awareness to social injustice for the law enforcement, for over-aggressive behavior and activity. I don't know if it's going to, I haven't looked at the numbers recently, if it's helped or hindered or anything like that. I'm saying at the time, to my knowledge, I don't remember him saying, "Oh, I'm kneeling to take a moment," his own moment of silence for himself, and to honor, veterans. I just don't.
He never was doing it for veterans. What I'm saying is that when people got upset, he went to veterans.
I'm saying that it would have been a better look for Colin at that time. It is during the national anthem. If he was on a knee, which he clearly was, right. If somebody had said, "Hey, Colin, why taking a knee?" I'm honoring this, and this.
But that's not what he was doing. Like
he didn't do it for a look.
Right. He was trying to find a nicer way to do what he was doing. If you don't like me sitting, if that is offensive to you, then let me find a nicer way to do it. that's less offensive.
Let me ask both everybody this. One
I'm
question.
still
I have
doing
one-
it.
I'll leave it
for
at this. I'll leave it at this. I'll leave it at this. And I don't.
took that knee.
I'll leave
Hold
it
on,
at this.
sorry, I got you, I got you. One second.
This is probably the most I've participated. If you listen to the other podcasts, this is probably the most I've participated.
I don't mean to jump on
in
you,
a little
Ross.
while.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Both of my grandfathers served in the military, and I've seen veterans that are crippled
Respect.
in wheelchairs get up, somehow manage to get up, whether it be with the assistance of someone standing by, to stand for the national anthem. I think he could have done it a little bit better or a little bit differently. It's a moot point at this time. I agree that he should be given the opportunity to play ball. However, if I think at the time he could have picked a different way to do that, because like I said, I've seen crippled veterans get up out of their wheelchairs to stand for the national anthem. It's just a sign of respect to not only our country, but to people who have served both past, present, and future, in my opinion. And that's
But
where
I get what Atari said about being reverent. I get that about and maybe it's true. He went to a veteran and said, "Hey,
It is true.
Okay? Maybe it's true.
It's true.
Maybe it's true.
It's true.
Do you by any
say everything like it's the truth?
Because I only say things that are true.
Let's just say it's true. So let's say it's true. Okay? That one vet that doesn't represent every veteran, and clearly there was a large pushback of veterans, non-veterans, people that didn't agree with the way he was doing it. Not that they didn't agree with what he was doing, the reason, because the reason is sound, but it was the way he was doing it. And let's not forget, he was not winning football games. He was a pain in the butt that wasn't winning games.
Nothing to do with
Unfortunately,
with
in
the
life,
issue.
it does.
It doesn't. It does.
If
And
you're
here's the thing.
if you're going to be a pain in the butt, produce.
And here's the thing. So yeah, maybe. So
See,
you say,
and that's what it's about. That's
Thank
what it's
you.
about. That's almost.
All right.
That's no. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just saying, like,
I was waiting for it.
Me too.
that's bad. Like, if you have to be an exceptional talent to be an asshole like Antonio Brown. You know what I mean?
Let
Like
me ask you
Antonio
this,
Brown.
Atari. Can we agree Colin
Hall of
Kaepernick was an
Famer.
asshole?
no, he wasn't an asshole.
That's kind of what
No,
Atari
he was
said.
not an asshole.
And so
Is,
here's
he was not an
Antonio
asshole.
Brown an asshole?
yes,
Yes,
Antonio
he is.
Brown is an asshole.
I don't think he is.
He does asshole. This stuff is for him. This stuff is
an
completely
asshole.
self-centered and for him. But here, hold on. But
And
here,
I'm an Antonio Brown fan, and he's an asshole.
But here, AJ.
He's
so
elite.
so you say there was a large group of people who didn't like what he was doing.
Well, clearly the NFL ratings dropped for the first time in 30 years.
And again, all right, and sorry, maybe you can speak to this because I seem to be the only person aware of the fact that there were black people who stopped watching NFL games because of the way the NFL was treating Kaepernick, not because they were upset about what Kaepernick was doing. Are you aware of any of this at
Right.
all? Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I was the biggest fantasy football player that I know. I played in 6 to 7 leagues a
Kaepernick
season.
on your team?
He wasn't.
No,
and the
'cause
one
he's
year,
trash.
the 1 year he wasn't. The 1 year he wasn't. He wasn't on my team the year they went to the Super Bowl, and I kept waiting for the bubble to burst. I kept waiting for the bubble to burst. I didn't pick him up, and I regretted it that whole season. But to make my point, because that wasn't my point. Thank you for interrupting me. But to make my point, I was the hugest, fantasy football fan, and I haven't played fantasy football in 3 seasons. And the reason I stopped, I ran my own league. The reason I stopped was because of this. And but when I was thinking about doing it, I went to another player in the league, another black player in my league, and I was like, man, I'm thinking about not having the league this year, because of this whole Kaepernick thing. And he's like, well, if you was on the fence, just know I ain't playing. Like he had already made his decision. So there wasn't this the whole world against Kaepernick, and he's like holding on to this stance that nobody agrees with. Other players knelt. There were people in the stands that knelt. There were people that were with him, whether or not you want to recognize that or not. So he wasn't just this, I'm an asshole doing this, everybody hates it, and I could stop, but I won't. He had people, he had support.
Can I ask Atari
he had a
something?
lot of support.
And hold on,
Why don't you want to talk
let
to
me
me,
answer
AJ?
that really quick.
Oh, that's
So
both
look.
Go ahead.
So did y'all notice? So everyone keeps talking about Eric Reed took a knee with him. No one else is talking about number 58, who also took a knee with them, who's in every picture with them kneeling. You know why no one's talking about him?
He's not a
Because
pain
he
in the
wasn't a
ass.
fucking starter.
No, he's not a starter. Okay.
No, he was black. He wasn't a
not?
starter. Yeah, he wasn't a starter.
He wasn't
So,
the face
yeah,
of the franchise, for sure.
Exactly.
So this piece
so
of shit
Atari-
quarterback was the face of the franchise?
So Atari.
Come the fuck on, man. He's
Atari,
that bad, but
exactly.
he was the
Can
fucking face of the franchise.
Can I talk now?
You-
Any
you-
quarterback,
you
good or
can't
bad,
be-
is a face, right?
Right. Well,
Okay.
Whoa.
Do
Yeah.
you
Sam Darnold is not the
do you know
face
what?
of the
Do you know what
Jets.
I noticed? I
Yes, he
noticed
is.
how all these other athletes, black, white, whatever, in basketball, in baseball, didn't take a knee. Do you know why they didn't take a knee? because they knew it was going to happen, and
No,
they did.
because the NBA explicitly prohibits it. You cannot take a knee
No,
in the
no.
NBA.
Hey, look, if
Exactly.
LeBron James really believed in what he was doing, he should have taken a knee.
No, there are rules. See,
What are they gonna do to LeBron James?
Because you say it was against the rules. There are rules in
What
the NBA.
are they going to do to him?
I don't know what they're going to do to
Nothing.
him, but there are rules in the NBA that say you cannot.
They're going to take away that
There were not
Bubba Lick's
rules
contract.
in the NFL that said you could not.
You're
This
right.
was we don't want you to.
Do you know what LeBron James? He's smart. He saw what happened to Colin Kaepernick. He said, "Fuck that."
LeBron James came out with he came out with like a Black Lives Matter shirt on.
He
or
wasn't
something,
kneeling.
and people got upset about it. He still did it.
He wasn't
He's
kneeling.
had people say shut up and play, and he said I refuse to.
So what about when the Clippers players when they did their protest against their owner?
I don't remember that, and I don't remember if
don't
Clippers
remember
even have a
anything.
team anymore. They
You don't
suck.
remember that?
Your memory.
I do
is
know
the
their
most
owner was
selective.
an 85-year-old man that was a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, they should have protested. He had to sell the
Exactly.
team.
If I'm not
That
mistaken,
is-
I think the
that is
Clippers owner is
diet.
still the same Clippers owner that made the same
No, it's
racial
not.
No,
slurs
no,
and comments.
no,
Oh, it's
they-
not.
they-
That
Okay.
is
He
diet.
forced himself.
That's Diet Kaepernick. That's Diet Kaepernick. That whole situation is Diet Kaepernick. It's not as big as Kaepernick's
I mean, the thing was that
situation.
there's no way
It's
out of that
Diet
situation.
Kaepernick.
He was a terrible person.
And Steve Kerr was for Kaepernick.
I have a fun hypothetical question if anybody's interested.
Let's go.
What's up?
My question is, Colin Kaepernick gets re-signed to a team. National anthem plays. He hits for the first time. He takes a knee. Somebody asks him post-game, and he says something along the lines of, I don't agree with our current president.
No one's going to sign him for that reason, I think.
Well,
I
it's my understanding.
would get behind Colin at that point. Like,
Once again,
you know.
it's my understanding. Yeah, I am not stating this as fact. I am stating this as purely my understanding based on information that I have read. That Kaepernick has
else?
already said he would not kneel.
But I'm just saying, hypothetically,
What else could he have done? What else could he have done to garner this much attention?
Atari, can I ask you one question before we answer that one? Is there? You just said Kaepernick's trash. Whether he is or not, I don't know. But
His play has nothing to his
Wow,
play.
now you don't know.
Whoa. His play has nothing to do with his message.
okay, forget about that. But my question is this: is there the slightest possibility that this trash ass quarterback can't get a job because he just isn't good enough? I mean, he did
Okay,
go 1-10
and-
his last year.
Right. I agree
football
with
is
that.
a
I
team
agree
sport.
with that. And that's why I brought up Kareem Hunt, because Kareem Hunt is, he led the league in rushing.
He's still a pretty good running
really
back.
good.
No.
He's really good, and he got caught on tape kicking a woman in the head while she was on the ground.
I
let's-
mean,
you know-
we don't know
So
what that
time
chick.
out.
We don't know what that chick did. She may. I mean,
time out.
Oh,
so
wow.
time out.
Wow.
Does anybody
We
know?
don't know. Oh,
so
come
time
on,
out.
man.
Wow.
So my question is.
Hold on, let's give Ross the floor. Ross.
My question is, Kareem Hunt gets to play in the league. He's already back in the league, and he kicked a woman in the head on video. Anybody know or seen or heard from Ray Rice?
no, he's MIA
He punched his, I believe, his wife in the face.
And
Or,
he-
multiple times.
Ray Rice
Yeah.
would fit Andy's argument because Ray Rice was damaged goods.
I'm
by
just
the time
saying,
he
if
did
Kareem Hunt is given the
He's damaged,
opportunity,
so is Kaepernick.
I'm saying if Kareem
that.
Hunt is
I'm
given,
saying Ray Rice. I said it would support your argument. AJ.
I'm saying-
you don't even
You hear
listen
that,
to me
Atari?
when I try to give you something.
Take a
man.
note of
I'm
that.
just stating that Kareem Hunt is in the league after domestic violence or domestic dispute, and Ray
Domestic,
Ri-
not countryal disputes.
No.
whatever, how you
I'm
say
just
that.
no. I'm taking up for Ray Rice at this point. I feel like Ray Rice should.
He was done. Ray Rice was done.
I mean,
Yeah, I think his career was on the
Yeah,
downslide.
it was, just like Kaepernick.
Anyway,
worse and worse.
Like I said,
No,
it
quarterbacks
was,
last way longer
It
than
would
running
support
back.
your
Kaepernick
argument.
wasn't.
It would support your argument. Oh man, but no, I don't think the NFL has ever been honest, and based on this workout that we saw, that was. I see you when you're about to interrupt me. I can just see you. You do that thing when you lift your head up, like I can just see.
Atari, you need to come down for a visit.
But no, based on the workout yesterday, the footage that everybody got to see, you've had NFL people already come out and say he's definitely good enough to be at least a backup quarterback in the NFL right now. This is no longer a question. It is. They have tried to run this narrative that it's about talent, and it's not. And when I talked to you yesterday, what I said to you is that if you want to say he's a pain in the ass and this is the reason why he can't play in the NFL, then say it. Say that. Stop trying to spin it to be this bullshit.
Right.
Say the truth.
And
that's what Cap
understand
is
that,
trying to do.
yes.
I think that's what Cap was trying to do
understand
yesterday.
he's a
He's trying to
pain
get
in
to
the
the
ass.
truth.
Yes, if I'm an owner with billions of dollars and I'm paying I'm paying 53 guys millions of dollars. To me, yes, he would be a pain in the ass because he's fucking with my money. But I also know that what he's saying isn't wrong. But what he's saying is going to fuck with my bottom line. And I can't have that.
But why can't this? So here was my question to you yesterday, Andrew, is that if this is the truth and we're saying that that's cool and fine, like if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Why can't they say that's how we feel?
It's not. It wouldn't be good for public image, probably.
Exactly. Exactly.
But when is it? Why would the NFL, as big as they are, why would they? I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe they necessarily had the best of intentions, but I don't necessarily think their intentions.
But you don't see that. You don't see that. That means that they are catering to a certain group of people to not cater to another.
About 100 million people are catering to.
But you're saying that they won't say the other thing because that wouldn't look good for them. So that would only not look good for them to that other group of people. So they're worried about not making this group of people upset, but not so worried that we're not going to do this over here.
NFL's just riding the fence. They're trying to stay out of it.
And that's I think what Kaepernick is trying to expose. I don't think Kaepernick even believes he's going to get another shot in the NFL. He just wants to show the NFL for what they really are.
Exactly.
A bunch of rich people?
A bunch of hypocrites and pieces of shit.
Hypocrites.
That's what he is.
So my question is if
what has he done hypocritical?
If he's not going to get another shot in the NFL,
you can't call somebody a hypocrite, and then when I ask you how they're a hypocrite,
I don't
you
know
wave
if
it off.
hypocrite's the right word. He's just an asshole.
He's not. How is he an asshole?
So the NFL, why do you get to do what you get? Why do you get to do that to me just because you have more money than me and in the position you are than me? And then when I try to play the same cards you play, no, you're not my boss no more. I'm a free agent. I don't work for you right now.
But you want to get back in the
league.
What
are you talking about? But I don't know. I'm not trying to get back in the league. I'm trying to show everybody.
Well, if you're not trying to get back in the league, you just do what you want. And maybe that's what he was trying to do. Just do what he wants.
But to say that you're an asshole, say if you're an asshole if you kneel before the flag, but you're not an asshole if you beat women. You're not an asshole
I'm not saying
if you abuse drugs. You're not,
I'm not saying
that. But you're saying the reason he doesn't get a job is because he's an asshole.
I think
the
way he's handled it is wrong. I think that you can be an asshole to an extent because all of them are a little bit.
How was he supposed to handle it, AJ?
How do you incorrectly protest how do you incorrectly protest non-violently? How is that wrong? He didn't do anything violent. He just silent protested well within his rights as an American legally.
He's working for a private organization that writes his check.
In my opinion, he could have found a different avenue. He could have stayed in the locker room during the anthem if he wanted to do that.
That's why he's a martyr. Guess what? That's why he's a martyr, because I know that millions of people see me every Sunday. So guess what? I'm going to be the one to step up and be like, look, this is some bullshit. I'm going to take a knee because I know millions upon millions are seeing this. And I don't care if it affects my pockets or not because this needs to be heard.
He was becoming bigger. He was becoming bigger. And I think,
and that's the problem,
right? And
that's the problem.
He was becoming too big.
The issue he was trying to address became bigger than the league, and they were like, "Wait,
exactly." I tend to agree on that.
And they hijacked.
Why is that wrong?
They hijacked the issue. They made it about the troops when it was never about the troops. Never about the troops. They never discussed the real issue. Completely hijacked it. Turned this man into public enemy number one instead of fixing the fucking problem. And the thing is, a protest is supposed to. When you say he could have done it another way, I don't understand. You cannot have a protest that people like because then that doesn't work.
Let's say he does it. Let's say he does it.
You have to make people uncomfortable.
He does what he did.
You have to make them uncomfortable.
He does it for a couple games. Then he starts to notice a pushback, a problem. People starting to talk about that as far as him kneeling instead of the actual problem. So he probably should. At least I feel like he probably should have found a different way to communicate at that point. Got in front of everybody and said, "You know what? Here's what it's about." And I know he did that to an extent. But I think at that point he should have got off the knee and done something else other than that.
But
he valued his job, but he didn't.
I think as many people, because he valued his message more than his job. I won't say he didn't value his job.
I don't have the same belief in that guy.
I wouldn't say he didn't value his job. I think he valued his message more.
He valued his people. He valued his people more than his job.
And the thing is that as much as you try to make it seem like the whole world was against him, you just keep negating all the support that he actually had. Other players, teams started putting together demonstrations.
Some
for
players knelt too,
and some
when
players
what happened
didn't.
to him, they stopped.
Not everybody stopped.
For the most part,
no. They came to an agreement with the NFL. The NFL started doing things as far as donating money certain places. Things started happening. Things started happening, but at that point, it was too late for him.
There's a consequence for your actions.
So what was he? What was he supposed to do? Like, you remember when Ray Rice did that? He beat his wife, and then the NFL had all those No More commercials. What was he supposed to do? Fund a No More commercial? No more killing black people for traffic stops.
I have no idea.
More killing black people for reaching for their cell phone when you think it's a gun. Like, come on, man. Like, was he really going to do that?
I have no idea what he was going to do.
Real quick,
Exactly. So what was the correct way to get his message across? There is no correct way.
You're right. There's not a good way, and you have to make people uncomfortable so they'll talk about the issue. And they did start talking about the issue, but in the process, looking back on it, hindsight, in the process, it cost. I feel like if I was him, I think it cost me too much. I think he probably should have found another way to go about it. After the initial stuff,
I just don't understand why you hate him so much. I really don't understand why you hate him so much. I don't see what he did so wrong to you that you hate him.
Christopher Columbus had found another way to get this country, to discover this country, because everybody knows he stole it. So was there a more correct way to do it?
I don't know.
I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did it because I love living here. You know what I mean? I'm so glad he did it.
Are you a Trump fan, Atarii?
Oh shit.
No, sir.
and that's why I wanted to play my hypothetical because, hypothetically, Colin gets a job on an NFL team. He comes back into the league. The anthem hits. He takes a knee, and somebody asks him post-game, why'd you take a knee? And he said, I don't agree with our current president. Do we have this much uproar? I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I think Trump has enough. There are enough Trumpeteers. I'm sitting across the table from one. There are enough of them that would call him an asshat and all the other shit all over again. I want to play this real quick, the clip of Colin's speech after his, not speech, that makes it sound like it's too much grandstanding.
His juggling circus? Let's go.
What, juggling circus, whatever. His statement to the little media that was there after his workout was over.
After he bailed on the original media.
No, there was no media there. He didn't bail on the media because there was no media there. No, this is
8 teams.
You're just making shit up. You
don't know there was no media there. The NFL media was there, and there was 25 teams there as reported.
As reported.
There were 8
Thank
teams
you for adding
there.
the as reported. 8 teams
there
at
were
his
8
workout.
Teams there.
No, there were 8 teams that went to his workout.
His workout. The NFL says 25 were waiting for him in
maybe not. I have no idea.
No, they had 25. They had 25 representatives with logos, like hoodies with logos on them, while everyone who really mattered was on their way to the real games today.
All right, let's play this clip real quick.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Hey, let me start by saying I appreciate y'all coming out. That means a lot to me. Our biggest thing with everything today was making sure we had transparency of what went on. We weren't getting that elsewhere, so we came out here. It's important that y'all are here. Y'all been attacked for the last 3 years. Y'all continue to be attacked. We appreciate what y'all do. We appreciate you being here today. We appreciate the work you do for the people and telling the truth. That's what we want in everything. I've been ready for 3 years. I've been denied for 3 years. We all know why I came out here, showed it today in front of everybody. We have nothing to hide. So we're waiting for the 32 owners, the 32 teams, Roger Goodell, all of them to stop running. Stop running from the truth. Stop running from the people. We're out here. We're ready to play. We're ready to go anywhere. My agent, Jeff Nally, is ready to talk to any team. I'll interview with any team at any time. I've been ready. I'm staying ready. And I'll continue to be ready. And to all the people that came out here today to support, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. To the people that aren't here, I'm thinking of you. I appreciate you supporting from where you are. We'll continue to give you updates as we hear. We'll be waiting to hear from Roger Goodell, the NFL, the 32 teams. We'll let you know if we hear from them. Ball's in their court. We're ready to go.
There we go.
Brought a little fan club, didn't he? Atarii, can I ask you a question?
Why do you keep asking him if you can ask him a
If you own
question?
an NFL team, do you bring him in?
Okay, from that perspective,
You're the owner.
We're not talking like, okay, if I'm an owner of an NFL team, no, I don't want you to fuck with my billions of dollars.
Why don't you want to bring him in?
Because you're going to fuck with my billions of dollars.
Okay.
And the majority of people who watch football.
No, it's not hard. What's hard to understand is why they can't say that.
It makes total sense.
So what's hard to understand is why they refuse to say that.
Because they don't want to seem like they're about money.
All right, so So that's what we're trying to expose here. It's not even about Kaepernick playing
Exactly.
anymore. It's about say to everybody that you're not this family friendly organization
Jared,
that loves the country and has never had anything to
If
do
you
with the
owned an
fucking
NFL
troops.
team, would you bring him in?
If I was trying to win and I needed a backup quarterback,
No.
yes, I would.
No, if
Atari's
I
no,
wanted to keep
Jared's
my
no.
money flowing, no. No,
It's bad for team,
No,
right?
I don't think it would be. I
No,
don't think it
we
would.
said-
I don't think this is going to be as detrimental to a team's bottom line as people are making it out. Michael Vick,
I think so.
you know how many people hated Michael Vick after that shit? They hated him because people love animals more than they love the troops. I'm sorry, like you'll find people out there that you can say whatever the fuck you want to say about a human being.
Michael Vick
but if you kick a dog,
but he got out of prison and he apologized. And he made it. He said, "I understand what I did was wrong." And
but
people
Colin
said, "Hold on,
Kaepernick didn't do
can I talk?"
anything wrong.
In your opinion, that's an opinion.
What did he do wrong?
And he went to prison.
And he went to prison. Yeah, that's true.
Tell me what Colin Kaepernick should apologize for.
I'm not saying he should apologize.
No.
I'm saying he should say this. If he shouldn't apologize, he should not be a prick when he's interviewed. Just like this, they're running from me. They're not running,
What?
motherfucker.
They're running
You had
from
a
me.
chance to go in front of 25 people and try it. You said no.
He said, let the
him-
media be there.
What he is now is he can expose the NFL for whatever terrible people they are. 3 people will turn it off and he's done. See ya.
So what should he apologize for? You said a lot and said nothing.
I don't
What
necessarily think he should
for?
apologize. Let's just say he should not be a prick when he's interviewed.
How is he a prick?
I just said it.
How?
What is being a prick?
So
have
you
to do
saying
with-
that
They've been running. I mean, just
They have been running.
Have some
if they're not, hold on,
sense of
AJ,
self.
AJ, if they're not running, and everything is above board and everything is cool, then why do you have to settle out of court?
I'm not saying.
Why do you have to do all the things that the
because
NFL is doing?
has billions of dollars. They're just going to like an insurance company.
So
They'll write the check and be
exactly.
done
So
with it.
they are running. They are running. They don't want the public to know the truth.
They don't want him around.
They don't want the public to know the truth
Of what? They don't want him around?
of their real policies or real politics about how they really feel
There
about
are
what happens
politics,
to the
of
people who
course.
watch their
In
football
anything.
games.
They're owners of billion-dollar
They don't want to
businesses.
tell the people.
Listen.
Atari said it best. They don't want to give up their money.
They don't want to tell the people who
These
watch
owners-
their games and the players.
These owners.
I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go
I'm sorry. Now, they don't want to tell the people.
These own.
All right, you got it. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Jared. Go ahead, Jared.
Go,
ahead.
Atari.
All right, they don't want to tell the people that that watch their football games, and they don't want to tell the people who are the same color as. This is an arbitrary number. I have no idea if this number is true or not. I'm gonna say 70% of the NFL is black. You want to agree or disagree?
Pretty close, probably.
Pretty
75.
All right. So they don't want to say that to this group of people. They don't want to tell them the truth about how much they really care about what happens to them. That's what they're running from. They don't want to say that. They don't want to say that.
If they hear concussion protocols from these people, what makes you think they wouldn't hide this type of shit from you?
No, I'm not
Like,
saying
come on,
that
man.
everything they did was above board. I'm not saying they're the most honest people in the world. I think you hit it dead on the head. They think it's bad for business. They think it'll cost them money, and they're not going to do it.
They're not going to be honest.
I
And so when somebody says you're running from me, why is that not a true statement?
just think that he could, if he was more.
You just want him to say it's all right.
No,
you know,
not as hard. Just
shuck and jive
just-
a little
you
bit
gotta-
for him?
If you want to play in their league, you have to play their game.
He's not trying. I don't think he's trying to play in their league.
Okay, then he
anymore.
can do what the fuck he wants.
He is.
Good.
All right.
Welcome to unemployment.
He's not unemployed.
Apparently he is.
Apparently
Okay,
he's not.
so can I interject for a moment here? And I'm just curious. I've never discussed this with y'all. And Atari, you can chime in as well because I've never met you face to face yet. But it sounds like it would be a pleasure to meet you face to face. I've had the pleasure of having football in my life since I was about 9 years old. Whether it be playing, fathers, uncles, grandfathers. Football has been a primitive aspect of my life. It always has been. It always will be. I've been involved with the game in some form or fashion since I was about 9 years old. I'm after sitting here as a white male in America. If I'm holding the keys to the franchise after hearing that young man speak at his open workout, I would 100% give him a shot to play for my team.
Big shock. You agree with Jared?
No, because it is America. I believe he has learned from this experience. I feel like his that was a genuine, heartfelt. You can hear it in his voice when he's out there and he's expressing himself. And he even mentions the people that aren't present. He wishes them well and everything. You can hear the sincerity in his voice. I back him 100% because it is America. At the end of the day, he should be entitled to make a living in this country. And if he is, if we've deemed him a professional athlete, and we are not allowing him to make a living, then yeah.
So you own an NFL team. You hire him?
Yes.
You and Jared are welcome.
He pretty much got punished for being a whistleblower.
Pretty much. Yeah. But he's not. I don't think he's even good enough to play anymore.
Which is against the law.
Because if you look at the NFL, if you look at the
a lot of people, all eight.
Again, if you look at the current NFL, that's right now.
It was streamed on YouTube. A lot more than 8 people saw it.
I saw him overthrow some of the balls. I saw him missing
a lot more than 8 people saw it.
I saw receivers having to come back.
Again, and
receivers he's never played with before.
Right. I read an article today that Adam Schefter, he makes a valid point. He has no rapport with those receivers that are at that open workout.
Exactly.
So,
So he thought enough to move the workout, but he didn't think enough to bring his own receivers?
He did bring his own receivers.
Then he probably played them.
I think who was out there? Bryce Butler was out there.
Right.
That's the only name I identify with, Bryce Butler.
I didn't recognize any of them, but I assumed he brought them. If he's going to move the workout and tell the NFL to fuck off, he might as well bring his own receivers.
Exactly. The whole point was, look, I'm good enough to play in y'all league.
People said he looked good. AJ.
I'm good enough.
He's got a great.
I'm good enough to play in y'all's league.
People said he looked
the only
good.
reason y'all are,
Adam Schefter.
Stephen A. Smith.
Right, I read it.
Stephen A. Smith's not biased at all.
Right, Adam Schefter again.
Oh no.
Stephen A. Smith is on your side, you dumbass.
Fuck Stephen A.
Not the one I saw.
Again,
no, you didn't see Stephen A. Smith say he doesn't want to be a football player. He wants to be a martyr.
That I would like to try to interject here. A valid point that Adam Schefter made. He said on numerous rollouts and getting outside of the pocket, he looked good and his arm looked good. There was a couple that he said that were not on target, but that's part of the course for having receivers that you have not built a rapport with. He's not spent a whole season with these guys. If he's in the locker room from the start of the season to the end of the season, I guarantee you it's going to look a little bit more cleaner than probably a couple of overthrown balls.
He's 33 years old.
The Ravens got scared out of signing Colin Kaepernick, and then they ended up drafting Lamar Jackson. I thought that was hilarious.
Colin Kaepernick on his best day isn't as talented as Lamar Jackson.
Hell no, he's not.
Thank you.
But still.
It's never been about talent.
I think based on what the current
on
what the current NFL is putting out on the field these days, I think and that's another reason Colin Kaepernick should be given the opportunity to once again play in the NFL. And I have another idea for Colin Kaepernick. If he doesn't get justice or satisfaction from the fucking NFL, go to the XFL. Vince McMahon is a billionaire.
He's not going to do that. He's better than that. He won't play in the CFL. He won't play in the XFL. He's too good for that. He don't want to earn a fucking living. He wants to give it to him.
Who's giving you a living? That is the dumbest shit you said tonight.
Not give it to him. Here's the thing.
I might be one of the smartest businessmen at this table because I was thinking XFL with Vince McMahon, also tying a fucking WWE contract with it and run a storyline because WWE's heading down the train as far as mine.
I talked to Jared about this the other day. If I was him and I was serious about being in the NFL, several years ago, I would have gone to the CFL, showed I could play again, and then gone right back to the NFL. If he really wanted to play, wouldn't that what he would have done?
If you believe that the reason they weren't letting you play was because they thought you weren't good enough, then maybe that's what you would have done. But if you knew that the reason talent. If you knew that the reason they weren't letting you play had nothing to do with your talent, because you probably are around people who are telling you you are good enough to be an NFL quarterback. You're around players, you're around coaches, you're around scouts.
A bunch of yes men.
No, you're around.
They're telling you what you want to hear.
You're around people who probably have your best interest at heart.
How about somebody looks them in the eyes and says, "Hey, you know what? You want to get back in the NFL? The best way to do that is to play football and show them you have the ability. You're better than you were before. You make smarter decisions. You still got a cannon. You can scramble." To me, if I in that situation, he's lighting it up in the CFL. Shit, I'm signing him.
Have you paid any attention to the CFL this year? Last year?
The CFL is whack.
Nobody gives a fuck what happens in the CFL, AJ.
Warren Moon came from the CFL.
They have like
that
10,
was then.
They have 10 teams.
This is now. You remember what happened to the AAFL?
I don't know.
Yeah,
he could have played there. He could have played somewhere.
They had a team here
in
Austin, and nobody knows what happened to them.
I don't either.
Yeah. So, really? But if you thought
they couldn't pay.
I feel like you should have played somewhere.
If you thought the reason that you weren't getting a job is because they thought you couldn't play, maybe you do that. But if you knew different.
Well, maybe if he had some real estate.
And also he was putting out videos on YouTube of his workouts and him throwing the ball. So he was covering that. He was covering that part of it. Everyone knows he can throw. Everyone knows he can run.
Case in point, based on what I saw over the last week in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick should 100% get an opportunity to play again in the NFL.
All right, so
based on
he should definitely be on the
based
NFL
on the
team.
barbaric behavior.
We've yelled at each other enough for one episode. I think we were going to talk about something.
One question.
Do you want to? Oh shit! You always got to have the last word. Go ahead.
Give me your viewpoint on this. So we all know what happened with the Cleveland Pittsburgh game, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can agree that he shouldn't have swung the helmet. Right? He should not have done that. But can you at least see where Miles Randolph or what's his name?
Miles Garrett?
The quarterback.
Mason
Randolph. He was still charging.
Rudolph.
He was still coming swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, I get
Randolph.
that he shouldn't have done it.
Is Randolph?
I think it's Randolph.
But to
No,
me,
it's
it's like
Mason
this guy's
Rudolph.
still,
It's Rudolph.
this guy's still coming at me. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, if you still coming at me after I'm being restrained, I'm.
And he was being restrained.
You don't think it's over?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
he
being
shouldn't have done
restrained.
it. He shouldn't have done it. I agree. But he's being held back by two Steelers, and Rudolph's running up to him and swinging.
Right. So why didn't he
But
get?
guess
Why didn't he
what?
get suspended?
I think he did. He got one game. He got one game.
He
I
did,
think.
they finally gave the last I saw he got fined.
They gave-
I didn't see
I don't know,
did he
maybe,
get
I don't know.
suspended? Anybody? You got your phone, man. Somebody look it up.
I think
I know
they
Pouncey
gave
got
him a
suspended,
game.
and somebody else got suspended.
Yeah,
I don't
Pouncey
know.
got 3
I
games.
think they gave him a game.
Garrett's out indefinitely.
But what else? Did you see the pictures that Marcellus Wiley put on his Instagram?
No. What was it?
That show
About,
him
like,
kicking him in the balls and stuff.
Kicking him in the balls and grabbing his balls after he was being restrained.
Who?
Rudolph kicked Garrett in the balls.
Then tried to squeeze the juice from them.
I'm not sure what the. I mean, I know he shouldn't try to.
I'll hit
swing
you in the
him.
head with a helmet too.
I agree. I think that Randolph was way out of line, and I think that Garrett was out of line for swinging at a helmet at him. But what is he supposed to do? He's getting charged at. It's 3-on-1.
Okay.
Right. That was a football play. It was a football play. Mason Rudolph tried to pull his helmet off. So you want to pull my helmet off? Okay, guess what? I'm a better fighter than you. That's all it was. I'm better than you at fighting. I made you look really bad, and now I'm getting suspended indefinitely without pay.
The Steelers were mad because they were getting hammered. He threw 4 interceptions. He was all frustrated. That was what it was about.
Yeah. NFL
You charged
quarterback
at
throwing
me.
4 interceptions.
You
That
charged at
doesn't have a
me,
job.
then you charged at me, then I hit you in a helmet because apparently that's what you wanted because you charged at me. And then you look back at the ref like, oh my God, ref, I charged at him trying to fight him and then he hit me with a helmet.
Yeah,
That's
we're on
not
the same
fair.
page on that one.
Atari,
What?
I don't know. I don't know if Jared or Andrew have ever played the game of football. Atari, have you played the game of football at all?
Yes, sir.
At any level?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
At all levels.
I had the
Except for-
pleasure. I was very fortunate and blessed to have played with Andrew Luck back in high school, in a 5A high school in Houston, Texas. We played we played teams anywhere from the Katy Tigers, who have gone on to win numerous state titles. Here's my opinion on this situation, and I don't agree with Andrew at all, and I don't necessarily agree with your stance on it. Here's the facts. Miles Garrett outweighs Mason Rudolph by about 40 pounds right off the bat.
Come on.
Right off the bat. No. Give me an opportunity to speak.
Let Ross have
I
the floor.
rarely speak.
Let Ross
and
have the floor.
I think you take everything into consideration. Mason Rudolph is 100% at fault as well for starting an altercation. However, there's 8 seconds left in that game. That score is 21-7 Browns. There is no reason, and I understand playing to the whistle. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression, Atari.
Yes.
You play to the whistle.
Yes. Play to the whistle.
However, there's a certain there needs to be like a cutoff switch where Miles needs to be like where he can light Mason up. He doesn't need to drive him into the ground at that point in the game.
He didn't drive him into the ground. He tackled him.
He tackled him and drove him into the ground.
It's Steelers
He didn't
Browns.
drive him.
Hang on a second,
He
Andrew.
didn't,
I'm talking to
look at
Atari
it. Look
here.
at it again. Look at it again. Look at it again. He didn't drive. He didn't pick him up and drive him. It was a spin around tackle where I want to make sure you're on the ground because this is a legal football.
Okay,
play.
so he takes him down like he did. He tackles him. He makes a football. We'll call it a football-related play. He comes
And you
up.
get mad because you threw 4 picks.
Right. So Mason's already frustrated at his probably at his performance more than anything. He's driven into the ground or tackled into the ground at a high rate of speed by Miles Garrett, who's 274 pounds. At that point, I'm going to be I had the pleasure of playing quarterback my freshman year of high school, and then I came full circle and played center my senior year of high school. I can see this from both sides of the fence. If I'm getting drilled or if I'm getting tackled with basically no time on the clock left, and somebody's trying to light me up or put one underneath my chin, I'll probably be a little bit pissed too. I've never taken it to the point. I've never taken it to the point where Mason tried to rip his helmet off. Fuck. Exactly. When I originally watched the clip or when I originally watched the video, it looked like Mason had his right hand around Miles' throat. So at that point, all bets are off. It looked like he was choking Miles, and at that point, Miles has he should be able to intelligently defend himself. Granted, both of these men at that time were still wearing protective gear, including their helmets. Now, at the point where Mason is unsuccessful in removing Miles' helmet, and Miles says, "Fuck it, I'm going for yours," because it's tit for tat.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, you were unsuccessful in removing mine, but I'm successful.
I'm going to go ahead and wrench your neck around. I'm going to, because that helmet is fastened and it's around his chin strap. His chin strap's buckled. Yeah. So he's yanking him around by his neck. So any injuries could have come from that alone. So taking that out of the equation, the helmet comes off. At that point, Miles is starting to take steps back, and Mason starts to quote unquote charge him, which he does. However, I believe it's Pouncey that's in between Mason Rudolph and Miles Garrett.
No. It was the Castro.
Okay.
The Castro and some other guy.
Right. So at that time, DeCastro, who I believe is a highly intelligent individual, he played at Stanford, again, with Andrew Luck. So I give him credit, and my dad and I were just talking about this earlier. But anyways, at that point, Mason Rudolph, quote-unquote, charges Miles Garrett, which he does in the video. Miles Garrett is still wearing a lid. What is Mason Rudolph going to do on a national television platform on Thursday Night Football that's going to harm Miles Garrett's safety or well-being when he's got a protective helmet on with a visor? Mason Rudolph's not going to do anything that would harm or that would be detrimental to Miles Garrett's safety. At that time,
Mason should have thought about that.
But at
Mason should have thought about that.
Mason started the entire thing. I just watched the video. He's on the ground. He grabs the back of Miles Garrett's helmet and wrenches it around and started the whole thing.
I'm unclear. I'm unclear about what
you pick your battle.
Right.
I'm unclear. Pick your battle.
I'm unclear about what we're disagreeing about.
Miles could have taken the high road. In my opinion, and he's got the lid in his hand, and he sees Mason charging him. All Miles Garrett has to do is drop the helmet and be like, "Dude, scoreboard, motherfucker," and walk off the field.
He should have.
Did you forget about the picture that I showed you? That I told you about Marcellus Wiley posting about him reaching around his lineman and grabbing his nuts again after he kicked him in the neck? If you trying to squeeze the juice out of my balls, I'm hitting you with. I
haven't seen any photos that reflect that.
Here's where I'm a little confused. Are you arguing that Miles Garrett should not have been suspended indefinitely?
No, he 100% should have been.
So I think we all agree that Miles Garrett deserved to be suspended indefinitely. I think we agree that Mason Rudolph
is not blameless.
Is not blameless. I believe he deleted.
Miles Garrett shouldn't have done it.
Right. I believe that Mason Rudolph deserves a stiffer penalty than what he's gotten.
Yes, I agree.
And can we all agree? Yeah. Can we all agree that Marquise Pouncey is a wonderful American and should be saluted everywhere he goes?
He did exactly Marquise Pouncey did exactly what he was supposed to do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Defended his quarterback.
Exactly what he was supposed to do.
I saw a quote from one of his teammates that says, if Pouncey jumps off a bridge, I'm jumping too. We can that. He said, we can figure out why on the way down.
Yeah,
I like that cat.
He did what he was supposed to do.
But we're all in agreement. Let's have a kumbaya love moment real quick.
Yeah, a rarity on the podcast.
A rarity. I was unclear. So let me not take away from your point, Ross. Like what was your disagreement here in the
I thought Andrew was trying to make some dumbass stance that Mason Rudolph, basically, or he was sticking up for Mason Rudolph, or basically saying that
Mason Rudolph got what he deserved. I think.
That's where
outside of him he shouldn't have hit him with the helmet. But Mason Rudolph is not blameless. He started the whole thing.
Right. Again, 8 seconds left in the game, and I'm watching it live here. Okay, he goes for the helmet, or he's trying to rip off. Okay.
He started.
Right. He
started.
Garrett finished it.
Right. And at that point, when he removed Mason's helmet, he should have just dropped it and walked off.
I wish he would have thrown the helmet into the stands or something, but you're talking about a Steeler-Cleveland game where Steelers beat them probably 100 times in a row. They talk a bunch of smack about him. There was a lot of things going on.
Miles Garrett is lucky that he wasn't charged with assault and battery, in my opinion. God.
Myles Garrett. I think we're all agreeing that Myles Garrett got at least what he deserved, this indefinite suspension.
He probably got suspended. He deserved to be suspended. But the other guy, Mason Rudolph, he shouldn't be getting off scot-free. He started the whole thing.
No, he got a game. I really think he got a game.
And then he was also fined. I believe he was also fined a monetary value that I do not have in front of me at this current time.
But let this be a lesson to all people. Like, be careful who you. I get angry a lot, and I don't fight with certain people. Like when I saw that Ray Rice video, let's go back to Ray Rice, because Ray Rice, two-pieced his fiancee in the elevator.
He hit her a couple times.
He hit her a couple times, and then he drug her out the elevator by her feet or something. It was horrible.
I thought by her hair, but yeah.
But when I watched it, what I said to people was that I've seen Ray Rice on TV. I know what size gentleman this is. There's a lot of things that Ray Rice could say to me that I would just have to laugh off. He could talk about my mama. He could say whatever the hell he wants to say to me, and I'd be like, man, you funny as shit, Ray Rice. Ha ha ha. And
you 230
I might be crying
pounds.
inside, but I'm not gonna buck because Ray Rice could knock me out. I just think all people need to realize when you're dealing with somebody bigger than you, you might want to chill a little bit on your anger issues because you might get knocked the fuck out. You might get hit in the head with a helmet. It sounds like something bad might happen to you if you don't pipe.
Why would you pick a fight with Myles Garrett? You know he's like 6'4", 280 pounds.
Yeah, because he's pissed off. He threw 4 interceptions. They got their butt kicked.
And he's mad too? No, I don't want to fight you. I would have to shoot him. Like, are you serious?
All right, so we're gonna
he's
try
too big for me to be trying to fight.
That's what I'm saying. He could have taken the high road, dropped the lid, and walked off and pointed at the scoreboard or something.
That's what he should have done.
I think we all agree that's what he should have done,
right?
And that he deserves the penalty he got for not doing it.
Because again, what I think people are failing to realize, or maybe not only at this table, but the crown of that helmet hits Mason Rudolph the right way, he probably kills him on national television.
He's asleep.
I don't think anybody's defending. I don't think anybody's defending Myles Garrett hitting him.
No, I'm not defending him. No,
I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying he wasn't totally at fault.
Yeah, we're saying we are saying so because this is what
everybody takes a part of the personal responsibility for their actions.
I'm about to get into real trouble with this because this is the part of the conversation I have with women all the time when it comes down to like getting hit by men. The fact that a man shouldn't hit you does not mean that a man can't hit you. Won't hit you. Right. So Myles Garrett absolutely should not have hit him in the head with that helmet. But if you don't have a helmet on and he has your helmet in his hand, you should not operate under the assumption he's going to act as he should. You should understand that things might happen that shouldn't happen, including me getting hit in the fucking head with a helmet. Myles Garrett, 100% wrong, deserves his punishment. Just a warning to people that things that shouldn't happen all the fucking time.
All the time.
Right. But that should not have happened, and it should not. And you're talking about cleaning up the image of the NFL, and that's why I'm saying Colin Kaepernick at this point Colin Kaepernick should fucking send Myles Garrett a thank you note because at this point Colin Kaepernick has a hall pass or like a free invite back into the NFL with the recent assault and battery that occurred on Thursday night.
Forget the fact he's got a terrible.
The only reason Myles Garrett got suspended for the rest of the year is because this wasn't on HBO Hard Knocks, where anything goes on HBO. This is on live TV on some nationally syndicated PG-13 network. That's the only reason that he got suspended for the rest of the season. If this is on Hard Knocks,
and in my personal opinion, I like Myles Garrett. I've been following his career since he was at A&M. In my opinion, the suspension should carry over into the next year. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Don't do that.
Come on, man.
Nah, he could have killed that man.
I 100% believe that he should be suspended for probably part of the season. Maybe if it's only 1 or 2 games, but.
Let me say, if that happens in the street, is that not possibly assault with a deadly weapon?
No, 100%
it is. It is.
Because we're wearing colored jerseys and we're playing for a sport, it's not like.
But in the street, they're going to take into consideration who started it.
They're not. They're not.
The cops are.
You don't get to do whatever you want to, and then I shoot you and be like, oh, well, he shouldn't.
I've read numerous reports. I've read numerous reports that Myles Garrett is lucky that he got to leave that stadium, not in handcuffs.
In handcuffs, that was assault with a weapon.
If that happens on the street, that's a felony.
That's assault with a weapon.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they reopen this thing and charge him.
I agree with you. I agree with you too. Because initially, I've read reports that Mason Rudolph and his representation are not going to take any further action. You know, a couple of weeks from now, he's starting to experience like headaches, blurred vision, anything like that.
He barely hit him.
Bullshit. Have you played the game of football?
Yes, he hit him with the back of the thing.
When did you play football? Ever?
When I was younger.
He hit him with the back of the thing.
Head.
He hit him in the back of the thing. Like I don't think that was purposeful.
I'm not saying it didn't hurt. It hurt, but it didn't cut him. He's not bleeding.
It's the equivalent of getting hit in the fucking head with a baseball bat.
He didn't hit him in the head, Ross. He hit him in the head, but with the cushion on the back.
It's okay.
He got lucky that he hit him with the cushion on the back.
That's right. Did he hit him with the cushion?
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
Miles Garrett is lucky that he hit him with the cushion.
Yes, and so was the other guy.
Yeah, Mason got lucky.
He hit him with the cushion.
Right, he got lucky.
Yeah.
Miles got
That's right.
lucky that
he did get lucky.
So.
He hits him with the crown of the helmet. He's probably knocked out at least.
So to try to end this on a happy note, do we have time to do your transient story?
Yes.
All right. Tell him what we do.
All right. So this is what we're going to do, Atari. I know you've played Guess the Ethnicity with me before, but today Ross,
my favorite game.
Ross is a security guard, and he came in the house today and told us he had an incident with a transient. So I want Ross to tell his story, leaving out the ethnicity of this transient, and see if we can guess the ethnicity. Here we go.
I already know. I already know the answer.
It's the most poppin'est game show. It's that time again. All right, Ross, you got the spotlight. Do it however. Rules are out the window. Do it however you want.
Okay, we haven't played this in a few weeks or so, or a few podcasts, so I'm going to try to. I obviously don't want to give away the ethnicity, but an officer and I responded to a call this morning. There was an individual in the Nordstrom parking garage. So I'll give you the location first.
White. In the Nordstrom parking lot. Fuck that.
All right, keep going.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We got the details that he had an accident. He had soiled himself, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Both the other officer I was on shift with smelled the defecation or shit that was on this individual. I didn't catch that. The pungent odor that I was able to catch was the urine.
Urine. Okay.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
He was a drinker.
Drunk.
Yeah, he was a drinker.
He was not
He was
drunk.
not drunk.
Not to my knowledge or understanding.
Just
He
loose bowels.
just had strong urine.
Yes, it was very pungent.
Very pungent.
Very
he was
pungent,
dehydrated.
Very pungent urine.
All right.
All right.
As we say in DC, he was boofing.
What other details or facts do I need to?
I'm
Anything
good.
you want to throw in?
I'm good. All right.
He's wearing a lime green, almost yellow sweatshirt top,
What kind of
Sweatshirt.
jeans,
and blue hospital pants.
What shoes?
White.
What shoes?
He was wearing black sneakers.
Right. And just so you know, Atari, so the dude.
Where y'all live?
This is in Austin, and the dude like a upscale.
Well, there probably goes my job. I didn't know if we were going to
my
divulge.
bad.
Yeah, I didn't know we were actually going to divulge. Well, now I'm looking for a job. Atari, are you hiring by any chance? No.
I was playing quarterback.
we can all-
I am a security officer in North Austin.
Yeah, we'll bleep
Edit
that
that
out.
out.
Yeah, we'll edit that out,
We'll edit
please.
that out. Anyway,
for my job security
this
sake.
location,
I have bills to pay.
My bad.
This
I'm
location is
sorry.
the upscale.
It's upscale.
It's an upscale outdoor.
Upscale venue.
Was it a parking garage?
It is.
It was
I'm
in
gonna
the
go with
garage.
a black guy.
You're gonna go with black guy. I'm going white with the lime green.
I'm
and the
going
hospital pants.
well, black shoes,
You're going with white or black, Atari?
and he duped himself. Yeah, I'm gonna go white.
Oh, and I'll give you some other. So apparently, or supposedly, he was released from the hospital yesterday, having open heart surgery.
Oh, white.
He could also be Mexican too, Atari. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna go black though.
Because we always the burden of proof here is white, non-white. You don't have to say black. It can be non-white. It can be anything else.
I'm gonna go black.
You're going black. You always like to bet on black.
I want to be consistent.
Yeah, okay. I'm going white. Atari, where were you again, Atari?
Yeah, I'm gonna go white, man.
All right, we got two
Hospital pants and a
lime green, yellow.
hospital pants and a lime green. Yeah.
Open heart surgery. We don't do open heart surgery. We don't go to doctors. Fuck you talking about?
Open heart surgery. What the fuck? We ain't got no insurance. What
Hey,
you
fuck you.
So the ethnicity of the individual. Do we have any kind of drum roll sound effect or?
I just have your sound.
Hit me with the fuck.
Fuck!
Yeah. The ethnicity of the individual this morning was Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Fuck!
That's a celebratory fuck. Fuck! Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
The hospital pants, the open heart surgery, definitely like nailing the coffin for me. Nordstrom.
Poor individual was suffering from incontinence, and when I received the call, because I was already starting to play guess the ethnicity in my head when I received the call.
Everybody does it.
Well, no, because I get a call, and they're like,
everybody does.
There's a man over here in the Nordstrom garage. He needs some medical assistance. He needs an ambulance. And I'm thinking, oh, this motherfucker fell and like cracked his head open. There's going to be blood and everything. And then I was told he had an accident. He urinated all over himself and in the elevator. And then I was thinking to myself, why are we responding to that? That's not an emergency. That's not warrant of EMS response, in my opinion. However, we did respond, and EMS did respond, and he was taken.
So just so you know, like for me, defecation, like shitting yourself that's everybody can do that.
And I don't.
That's not what made me say he was.
The thing that was alarming. The thing that was alarming to me is that two of my other officers that responded with me, they smelled that. I don't know if it's from me smoking too many cigarettes. I couldn't smell the shit. The urine, I certainly smelled. But that was more alarming to me.
Shouts to vaping. we can smell shit.
Yeah.
We know when something is shitty around us.
I know when I smell urine before.
Yeah, the urine was more pungent than.
We don't have a shit
shit
smell permanently in our nose that blocks other shit smells.
Granted, okay, it's not like I can't smell shit. Let me rephrase that. Like I smell when somebody in the house is taking a shit, and I can smell when I've certainly shit my pants. So
fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna close it out because we getting in trouble for these long episodes, and we all got to head to some recovery related enjoyment. Yeah, whatever.
I'm about to crack open another beer and finish watching this game.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I would say enjoy one for me, but I'm off that. I'm not even. I got some pure water right here. I'm getting ready. We're gonna rock out. I picked out this song especially for Ross because Ross is in a real booed up kind of mood right now. He's looking for a boo, ladies.
Don't do that.
If you out, he's got a job. He's got a job
currently until this podcast hits.
He's got a job. If you're looking for a man, Ross is out there. He's looking to be booed up. So rock out with us. Thanks again, Atarii, for joining us. It's been another episode of the What is TWS podcast. Rock with me.
See you, buddy.
They be like, how many songs can you make about a booty? Like 1,000. Ooh, girl, you gon' learn that they gon' get this pounding. I'm not finished, I'ma hit it in the shower. So get that thing to the booty, ready to get into it. I'm out there, babe. You fuck with lame-os. They just copy me. They working Cankos. Tell your big friend, come give me them Cankos.
Tell your big friend.
I can't even imagine what your DM look like.
I like that.
I see the future, you what my BM look like.